Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Neanderthal Campaign. Last time, in a brisk episode, we founded the city of Caceres in our north. This has secured a very strategically valuable northern choke point into our lands along the swampy coastline south from the Scandinavian territory and the barbarian city of Jablonica. We also built up for and then went to war with Boudica, and we have now killed the Celtia AI. This is all considered my territory just for now because it was taken by me, but of course we raised everything and are waiting for it all to gradually decline, which it will in time. Now, the destruction of Celtia will leave a bit of a power vacuum in this side of the Pangaeas. Southeast, basically on the western side, where either the Dutch may potentially cross over the strait to come settle new lands, or the rather expansionist Ragnar may make a move. He did found the rather audaciously southerly Skirringsallir, so we'll see where his other city that he founded last episode while I was preoccupied doing the war, or around that time. I don't remember exactly when it was. We'll see where it is. I don't know exactly where, but we will have to find it. I'm also bringing my army back. I've decided to reorganize them once they return to Caraquela. I do want to make sure I maintain my strength. I don't want to just delete everything, but I do want to, if anything will be deleted, delete them in my territory. I don't know if disbanding a unit in this conquered territory will count or not, so I'm just going to bring them all back and reorganize them once they're all in one place, just for ease of my cognition, if anything else. So this was obviously an enormous undertaking, and I'm actually quite impressed we managed to defeat Boudica. As I talked about previously, I did pull this off before either of us reached bronze working, which is good. I didn't want her to have the chance to make use of the copper that she had. Of course, I also have copper. But ultimately, this gives us a lot more breathing room in the south. Now we can focus on just holding Ragnar back from the southern side of the map. And in fact, I may actually reorganize my watchtowers a bit. Some of these ones over here may need to actually be moved over to here, potentially. We'll see exactly how ambitious I get. But I do now consider the entire southern section of this side of the continent to be my greater territory, and Ragnar had better keep out. Of course, as we've seen before, Ragnar is more than willing to declare on me if he sees an opportunity, and that's part of why I don't want to just kill my entire army and restart building them from the beginning. Of course, the Neanderthal Obsidian Axemen can't easily, in fact, they can't even be replaced at all. I was about to say they can't easily be replaced. They can't be replaced in any sense. So we're going to be stuck with the military units we can currently build, which at the moment certainly gives us plenty to work with. We can, for example, build elephants, who, while not great defensively, are very strong units that don't have an easy counter for the Scandinavians. The best they could do is use spearmen for that bonus versus mounted, but even then, a regular obsidian spearman with the 50% bonus is going to get to about maybe 7.5, assuming that the rounding is actual. They may round up or down. Say that they round up to 8, that still means that they're looking at strength parity with the elephant riders, and elephants are very good in the field, so we'll see exactly what we are looking at here in terms of the composition we want to go for. Notably, all of these units do have upkeep, and I am still contemplating the idea of getting the mammoth war mammoth wonder over here, which incidentally I do now have a lot of units that can possibly hurry production, which I didn't even think about until just right now. So this may actually be a very good way for us. Hold on, is this right? Can these guys not hurry production? I guess they're a civilian captive and not like a military captive. They can join the city as a population. They can turn into an immigrant. Maybe they can't actually hurry production. I may have been mistaken about that. Which unit can hurry production? Is that the military captive? That might just be the military captive. Okay, well, never mind. I guess this may not actually be the case. So either way, we'll see if I can potentially still do some sort of build that leads to me constructing the mammoth animal trainer. Mainly because, although I can't get the Neanderthal war mammoths, as mentioned before, the regular mammoths don't seem to have an upkeep, and they do also cause collateral damage. And despite the lower city attack and the lack of jungle and forest bonuses, I'm going to be using these units in mostly a siege capacity, which is where this collateral damage is really, really good. So I do think actually transitioning to mammoth riders is sensible, given the way that I use my elephant units. Of course, I could go for an elephant and mammoth sort of hybrid army, with elephants being more so field units, but that puts me at a pretty severe vulnerability to spearmen, which of course the AI can easily build. So I think having, in an age before chariots, which we are all in, though Ragnar is worshipping, oh my gosh, is researching the wheel. He may also be worshipping it, but I don't know why I said that. Ragnar, that's not Ragnar, that's Netherlands. Ragnar is actually researching chariotry, so good thing I double checked this. So this means that my axeman strategy may not make sense either. Now, chariots, of course, have this insane bonus versus melee, and they are considered mounted and wheeled. So perhaps what I should do is train a mixture of axemen and spearmen, who are the main anti-mounted unit of the day. Although, now that I think about it, don't elephants have an anti-mounted bonus as well? A 50% versus mounted. Let me take a look and see for mammoths what their bonus versus mounted would be. This actually makes elephants a stronger option in the field. Again, spearmen counter them, but if he's building chariots, which he may be doing, because they're considered a very strong advanced unit for this point in time, the strongest unit he probably can get, then he may be focusing on those. So let me quickly double check here. So mammoths also have the bonus versus mounted. Okay, so that's really good. So against chariots, mammoths and elephants are actually pretty solid. Okay. Now let me actually take a look at the other megafauna buildings to see if there's anything interesting. So let's see, bears are really good against siege, and they're also strong, 7 strength. They're mainly just anti-siege units. Okay, very interesting. They're also good against throwing, but that's kind of a mounted thing. Okay, what else? Bison. I could get the bison rider. These guys are actually specifically anti-elephant and anti-mammoth units, which is interesting. I don't know if I'll need that, but that's good to know. Although, of course, I would need to build the Wanderer to make use of that. The Deer Rider, let's see. Bonuses on flat and on taiga. Malices in the forest, I suppose that makes sense. Bonus versus archers. Okay, that's interesting. And they also start with Arctic. Okay. What about giraffes? Ooh, okay. Giraffes could actually be kind of interesting defensive units. They have 50% city defense and hills defense. 8 strength and 2 movement for a defending unit is really interesting. They're considered mounted, but spearmen aren't usually an offender when it comes to siege attacks. That's actually where mammoths may actually be used, or elephants, or siege weapons. Not very good in rough terrain, but they're solid in flat terrain, and they're good on hills and in cities. Although these are also, I think, just archer numbers here as well. Let me actually check really quick. Archer, yeah, this is the same. I guess it is an archer on a giraffe, so it makes sense. And then, let's see. You also get giraffe units through trench cav, really? You get giraffe units through World War I. I don't know why there's such a large amount of giraffe units available. We looked at mammoths already. What about the rhino unit? Okay, this is a very, very bad city defender, but it's a very good, or at least it's a solid city attacker. I don't really know what this offers compared to mammoth. It has a large shield. I guess it's kind of better versus like archers. I don't really see the particular use case for this guy, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, then we got the zebra, or zebra, I guess, I don't know how it's pronounced. Okay, so same flat bonuses, although not taiga. It starts with commando, interesting. This does not feel like I see a clear use case here. I mean, ultimately, all things considered, we also have the big cat. We just need the cat resource to make use of this. What does this do? Heritage big cat. What do I get for this? Do I get big cat animals? Is that? I do, okay. For some reason it's not listed in the right way. Okay, hold on. Heritage Big Cat. Oh, here it is. Okay, forgot. This index is just the worst. Okay, so I can get a trained cat. Let's see, what do we have here? 5 and 2. These guys are really good at flank attacking, which makes sense. They're kind of good like ambush units. They're pretty fast as well. Okay. What about the war cat? This requires military training, which is, I think, in this age. Yeah, these guys are basically like, they're kind of comparable to the trainable dogs. So having looked at all of these, I think at the end of the day, really the best and most interesting units here are probably mammoths and giraffes, because these giraffe archers offer a very mobile archer equivalent, who are worse in terrain that archers are already worse in fairness. And they're also an anti-archer unit. That's not something regular archers can boast, that's for sure. This is interesting. I mean, archers aren't usually used very often in offenses against cities, but the AI could potentially bring them in. I mean, I could also use this, it's a very niche scenario, like you're defending against archers on a city, maybe on a hill. Doesn't receive defensive bonuses either, because it's a mounted unit. I don't know, I think at the end of the day, and this is probably fair, because these are all alt history kind of ideas, all of the megafauna have very niche scenarios, except for mammoths, who I think have a very clear, advantageous scenario. And I'm still not sure if these guys actually cost maintenance or not, but they're doing collateral damage on attack, which makes them, in my opinion, worth building as my new mainline city attackers. As you recall, I didn't have time to get mammoths hooked up during the prehistoric age, or rather, I couldn't get them hooked up because of a lack of culture. So I wouldn't have been able to build the Neanderthal mammoth riders at the time, which I actually don't think have... I kind of remember looking at this. I don't think they actually have more strength. I couldn't figure out what their additional bonus was. I think they're also good versus siege, whereas regular mammoths are... No, they're also good versus siege. 25. 20%, 75. Okay. 25%. Okay. And then... oh, they don't have the collateral? Interesting. But they do have jungle and forest. That's a Neanderthal mounted trait, though. Okay, so all things considered, I think I want to actually go for the mammoth trainer in Carahuela, which is where I have to build it. But the issue is, how do I get enough production here to make this happen anytime soon? 100 turns is rough. That is for sure. We also have a lot of other buildings we can possibly build over here, including a lot of folklore that we can now build. Interesting. Where's all this coming from? Tales of fish. You know, I think taxonomy may allow us to build all folklore. That might be what's going on here, if I had to guess. We also do still have some economic problems, but we're dealing with that. I think ultimately the mammoth component of our army can be the last one. I also don't think I want to whip Carahuela for a little while. We're at 3 on happiness. I want to give it some time to cool off here. Not that whipping would help much with the mammoth trainer. We wouldn't be able to whip it until the very end. I guess I could whip an overflow into it a little bit, but it won't make a major difference. I mean, this is a pretty solid production city right now. What I really need is mining to get these 2 tiles, which I at the moment shouldn't even bother working, to be better. So let's go ahead and work the doctor for the extra health and the research and the birth rate and that celebrity. Could always work the slave, but I would rather not. And, you know, actually, this is a better tile, just categorically. I should let it grow. I'll stop working the doctor and I'll work this. Although it's actually not that much of a difference. It's only 2. Yeah, I mean, given how much food is being eaten here, even with small holding, yeah, I think this is fair, and I'd rather work this one. It's a better tile. Okay, this looks good. So incidentally, do I actually have any captives who can hurry production? Doesn't seem like it.
Hello there to you.
I guess only military captives can do that. You know, let me actually check. I can figure this out. Okay, where the hell? Captive. To find. I don't remember what age. It's probably considered a prehistoric age thing. Let's find it. So captive. Is it a special unit? Oh yeah, here it is. Captive. What do you mean? It's not up here? Spartacus. There he is. It's okay. I'm not entirely sure where the captive units are. Alright, we're going to the full-on index here. We gotta find it this way. Captive. CP. Here we go. Captive military is what I was looking for. Yep, here it is. Can hurry production. Okay, so I would probably need to give the bonuses to my units that can the upgrades that can let them capture units. That's how we get military captives. Okay, fair enough. I won't be able to hurry, but I can use these captured workers for a number of things. That's for sure. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and reorganize my. Let's go in and let's get our build order figured out. Okay, so we have a lot more stuff we can build with taxonomy complete, and we also get the tablet maker. Okay, so let's finish the outhouse. That's for sure. Actually, let me let one turn. Whoops, I did not mean to cancel the outhouse. Go ahead and finish it. I'll let one turn go by, so everything kind of recalibrates, and then we'll take a look, see what we need to do. I believe getting back to break even is certainly possible this episode. We just gotta get things cleared up here, and we are making progress with the research. But our early wars with Boudica, this duo of wars, has definitely slowed our progression, but I do think it was ultimately worth it, as I've talked about at length. I want to just keep kind of going over my finished Maori, interesting. Going over my reasoning every single turn. Or I mean every single episode. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this bear, just to be on the safe side. And then I'm gonna have my hunters go and find the new Scandinavian city. I need to know how aggressive of a forward settle it may have been. Okay, and then we have this deer here. Okay, one of these guys can actually build the folklore bear. Oh, I see what's going on. Taxonomy added like general folklores for like all the different kinds, because that's what taxonomy is. It's like the grouping of all the different animals into one category. So now we can discover folklore bear, which we can do right here. And then we'll just do a, let's see, yeah, we'll just do a fight with you. And we'll do nothing with you for now. Okay, so let's take a look, dare I, at the civilian unit upkeep situation. We're a little bit over, but that'll be cleared up as we get these units reorganized. So for now, let's see, we do have mushroom gatherers here and here. We have the lumber mill over here. I want this to be a mine. I think ultimately mines are better than lumber mills if it's a forested hill. I'd rather have it be a mine over a lumber mill. So we don't really need any workers here at all, to be completely honest. We just resume fortifying. So you two, okay, let's see. I do have workers sleeping in every city, and I don't really honestly even need that. So we have the one worker here. We've got a war canoe, who I don't know what to do with at the moment, but he's just here. This worker here, continue sleeping. We have a worker up here. We have a vulture here. We'll get the dance hall sooner or later. Where's the worker over here? Oh yeah, he's building a fort right now. Or a palisade, I should say. Let's continue doing that. So once that worker's done, so this worker and the worker in Atapuerca can be my northern workers. I really don't need that many workers. I'm just not getting very much land very fast because of how culture works in this mod. And then I think just frankly one worker for my southern like, I sort of think of it as this is my north, like Caceres to Nerja, and then my south is Benolis and Carahuela. Even though Carahuela is the same latitude as Nerja, I think of it as like my south, or if you prefer, my west. So my western cities and my eastern cities. So over in the western cities, I don't really need any workers, like maybe just one. So I've got the one worker here. Here's what I could do. Possible controversial idea. I could bring some workers over, the two that are not captured, and possibly gift them to Ragnar. No, I can't because I don't have open borders. And that is with writing, I think. Let me double check. Maybe it's with alphabet, which is around here somewhere. I don't remember where it was. I looked at this before. Or I looked for this before. Here's writing. Okay, here it is. Open borders. So we're a ways away from that. That's like mid ancient age. So, okay. These two workers with their 4 upkeep are just going to have to go ahead and retire. We'll put it like that. As for the captured civilians... Oh, they can hurry production? Why didn't... Maybe they just couldn't hurry that one specific production. Okay, well, hold on. If I were to build the animal trainer mammoth right now... Well, okay, well that kind of solves my conundrum right there. What's this going to require? So we're going to be able to get quite a bit of progression using these captured civilians. That's exactly what I want to use them for. Alright. For some reason, I guess the outhouse was too close to finishing for them to hurry, so it just didn't show it as an option. I'm glad that I didn't, like, kill them or send them away. I'm glad the timing on that worked out. So, okay, animal trainer mammoth in Carahuela, for all the reasons I've said before. We're just going to go ahead and hurry with literally all of them. Actually, I'll do it one at a time, just to be thorough. So let's go ahead and add animal trainer mammoth production. Oh, that's a lot of progress. Alright.
You're gonna get it now!
Oh, that is very nice. 1 turn away. That is insane that I just did that. Absolute insanity. So I'm very much committed to the mammoth plan now, obviously. And because it's 1 turn away, I believe we win the tie against the AI for same turn wonder completion. So if Saladin's been building his mammoth trainer, he's gonna have a bad day when the news reaches him about my mammoth trainer being completed in Carahuela. This place still does need a lot more production to really be a great mammoth producing location, but we can work on that next. There's also the question of should I go for Divine Cult, which I think is looking, now that I have lost Anti-Clerical, it's looking more viable, but only if I have a state religion plan, because otherwise it's just not, like the additional upkeep is not going to be worth it. Or you go ahead and go look for that Scandinavian city. Okay, all of you, literally all of you, just head over here. Okay, all these guys are moving as well. Nice. Okay, so let's see. In Carahuela, I want to also get as much experience on these mammoths as possible. So let's see. It's the stable, right, that provides mounted experience. I think I can build a stable here. Hold on. Here it is. Oh, requires saddles. Yeah, new mounted gets +2 experience. Let's get a saddle maker over here. Is this going to require leather? It probably will. It is Caveman to Cosmos after all. Where is it in my list? You'd think I'd be able to know where things are by now, but no. This list is too extensive. Oh, here it is. Saddler. Let's get that next, and then we'll get the stable. And then we'll also see in the unit interface what other buildings will give it experience. I do appreciate that the interface does at least give me that. It tells me what units, what things will give what units more experience, which I like. So the Saddler is next. What's the happiness like here? Oh, this is fine. But I don't want to whip here for a while. I want to let my whips go wear off for a bit. We whipped pretty aggressively to deal with our economy and military buildup, but now we gotta calm down a little bit on the old slavery situation. Okay, so I have addressed Carahuela's workers. Over here, this is pretty much, I think, the perfect arrangement here. I do still want to get a workboat over here, but that whale is potentially going to cause problems. He has seemed to have left, which is nice. Maybe Nerja could get a workboat out really quick. Yeah, let's get a quick workboat out. Hasn't grown, it won't grow super soon. workboat can come over and try to improve this and get it improved finally. This fish I've never been able to get improved for very long. But yeah, I think this is fine. I want to keep all this production and all this food concurrently, and once it grows, we'll be able to work a celebrity and or work this. But this place's growth capabilities are pretty limited, honestly. You won't be able to grow it too much more. And the worker just keeps sleeping. Okay. I'm also thinking of getting a watchtower like around here somewhere. Now that I know I have to have a unit to guard it, I'm not 100% sure, but getting this place to be visible at all times would be quite convenient. Over in Nerja, getting the workboat done. This all looks pretty much perfect. This one here, again, this tile here is really not great. Probably what I'll want to do is build a hamlet here. I mean, this is just a rough area anyways, but at least that I'll get some money from that. But this is okay for now. I think what I'll do when it comes to the build order here, let's just get the workboat out and then take stock. There it goes. Okay, in Nerja, if I didn't work this and I did work the celebrity, let's see, so that's 42, or negative 42. If I worked this instead, negative 45, so it's obviously better to work the celebrity. What if I worked this, though? Negative 45. Okay, so the way that the wealth actually translates to money, this is better, especially at 100%, I suppose that does make sense. So less research this way, but more money this way, which is important. Yeah, and this tile's just not amazing. I do still think this tile could be a really good fort location, because it's extremely difficult to, like, it's the same thing as up here. Like, this is a tile that's okay to be workable. I could have a mine up here, but ultimately it is a very strong tile defensively. Only one way in, and they have to go through the fort, so I may get a fort built up here, but for now that's not a priority. Okay, over here in, oh, you know what, hold on. Can't Nerja work these? How much is this worth? 1, 2, 2, yeah, without, can I actually, this is so tricky. If I could just get a regular hunting camp here, this would be a much better tile, but it's outside of anyone's, it's outside of my influence, so I can't actually work it. That's really unfortunate. Okay, over here, I do want to add a perker to regrow. I whipped it. Well, actually, it's starting to forget about the whipping, so we should be okay to whip again in a little while, maybe 100 turns. I do want to let it wear off, honestly. In terms of what I want to work here, we have a lot of good tiles to consider. A lot of good tiles. The double priest is an interesting selection. I know I've gotten rid of anti-clerical, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. 1 hammer and 1 gold, 3 birth rate. I think I can do better than that. Let's get 3 gold from the merchant, and let's get the disease management and the extra wealth from the doctor. I think that is a better use of this pop for now. Okay, and then over here in Caceres, don't exactly have a lot to work, but we do have some solid tiles so far. And if we can actually get this kelp improved, or the shrimp improved. Actually, the kelp has been improved, hasn't it? Harvest kelp? I think I did get that improved, so I need to get the shrimp improved now. So let's actually get, yeah, Nerja doesn't have, I mean, it does have a lot it can build. Let's pump out 2 workboats from Nerja. Nerja, I'm fine to leave not growing for a little bit. Okay, and then meanwhile, where's my other? Who's up here? Who's already moved? That's right. Okay, so we should be good. Let's go ahead and proceed. It's time for mammoths. Look at that. Now that is a hard-ass image right there. Okay, so this will cost us some maintenance. We're the only mammoth trainer in the world, which is great. We can get Heritage Mammoth, which I think... Oh, this gives it everywhere. Okay, excellent. Oh, interesting. So you can actually train mammoths anywhere. instead of just the city. That's actually good to know. Although Carahuela is still a really solid spot to train the mammoths, I may actually reconsider. Let's see. Yep, there's Mammoth Rider, and in my other cities. Maybe after a turn it'll transfer over. Let's see. Mammoth. I can build Heritage Mammoth. Okay, okay. I see. Where would Heritage Mammoth actually be? Or is it automatically built? Heritage Mammoth. Hold on. Let me review what this requires. Animal trainer mammoth. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. It can be built in the city with the mammoth trainer. Okay, so I build Heritage Mammoth, and then that gives the effect to all the cities. Oh, it can be built by Great Hunter as well. But can it only be built by Great Hunter? I sure hope not. There's no guarantee of a Great Hunter coming soon. We do actually have some pretty solid Great General progression. Let's see. Heritage Mammoth. Okay, let's see if we can find. Really want to make sure I do this the right way. Okay. Crisco Mural, Saddler. I don't suppose it has appeared in and of itself? No. Is it building? I mean, Heritage is the national effect, right? That's tail. Okay, let's give it a turn and then we'll kind of see. But I don't need to build the Saddler here. Once I figure out how I can build the Heritage Mammoth. So over here, let's go ahead and add the Furrier instead. Yeah. Actually, let's add the Lumber Camp first, because this is going to provide some additional stuff that we want here. Okay, so you go ahead, heal for a few turns. You gotta go find that new city. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Okay. But the good news is I've secured it. That's what matters. There it is. Okay, so this is not exactly like a forward settle. It's outside of my self-declared like border of towers, but it's not that far outside of it, so he's definitely expanding towards me, which I don't love to see, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so... Oh, we were going to work on a workboat over here as well. Well, I guess I may as well finish that workboat. And I'll cancel the extra one that I've got over here. Okay. Meanwhile, okay, let's see. So we do have a Camp Mammoth, okay. Does Heritage Mammoth require something? I'm sure it's a conceptual building, right? Let's see. Maybe not. There's just like an automatic thing. Maybe it can only be built by a great hunter. Requires animal trainer mammoth, right? I have that. It requires the tech, which I have. I think it may only be buildable by a great hunter. Yeah. Hold on, wait, did I... Oh, wait a minute. It requires heritage? Oh, this is a tech. Oh, okay, I completely missed that. That explains. Yeah, it's right here. Okay. Okay, we're fine. So we have our explanation of what's going on here. We just have to get to heritage so that we can actually get... So then we can build mammoths in other cities, which will be great. Now, Carahuela is a solid city to build mammoths. At the moment, technically, Banolas and Atapuerca, as usual, are the best production cities. I mean, Atapuerca is kind of my designated military production center, so I think I do kind of want to keep the construction going on over there to the extent that I can. Okay, we'll see in the future where I end up building them. But I can build them in Atapuerca, which is great. I just need to maintain the source of mammoths from Carahuela, then we'll be in the clear. Although I guess I could maybe build mammoth herds from mammoths. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but if I'm able to spread the mammoth resource to other cities, which in theory is what I could do if I'm controlling a camp of them, that'd be nice. Anyways, this all looks good. Where are my hunters? You're healing, and you move to this turn. All right, let's go ahead and continue. I also think I applied a kind of not a very thought through build order in some of my cities last episode while I was focused on the war. So we'll get some of those reorganized as well. Okay. You go ahead and continue scouting around. I guess we'll get some hunts in while we're at it. That is what he does. Although folk dancing is soon, so we'll be able to get March very soon. If I can just get up to level 31, I can finally get March. So I will work on that. This guy here, I'm going to just, let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I guess I will have this guy just go ahead and be deleted, plus that's some cash money, and it reduces our upkeep quite a bit. As our units get back into our territory, that'll also reduce our upkeep quite a bit.
Do not watch out!
Okay. And then we'll start to reorganize our army. I think the plan's going to be, so the mammoths are for sure my designated anti-city unit, so I don't really need lots of them just kind of sitting around. Though I guess in fairness, for the way city combat actually works, where it's kind of a slow meat grinder, having a large number of mammoths on hand for a city attack would be, of course, quite nice. Plus, they're probably not going to be very easy to build quickly. I suppose we'll see. But, let's see. We'll wait for all of our units to get back, then we'll kind of take stock of the situation. Sort of don't know exactly where things are, but we'll find out pretty shortly, I'm sure. Continue hunting away over here. Nice. This guy's gonna become an absolute monster. He'll be able to really just, I'll send this guy north. He'll be able to basically kill anything with his abilities. We're working on a stele now. Okay, you know what? Let's actually go through. We're gonna actually properly reorganize all of our build orders. So everything that has a build order, let's kind of start from scratch and see what's going on. Okay, so starting in Atapuerca, so the stele, it'll help with its happiness. It's a little close to the happiness cap, though In time, they'll forget about my great oppression, so we can kind of wait for that. Hold on. There we go. This will also get rid of the unhappiness from monument if we have that, which we actually don't. Okay. Extra education per turn, that's quite good. Let's keep that going. The education mechanic, it'll add it'll basically remove malices as education increases, and then later on, it'll start to improve things quite a bit. So we want to make sure we never let education fall too far. So, I'm thinking about the town hall, and the main reason I'm thinking about this is that the majority of our maintenance cost is actually from distance to palace, which in Anapuerca is just across the street. So the maintenance here, 5% more of 40, that is like 2 gold per turn. For the other modifiers this provides, I do think, in fact it says it right there, it's 2.79 gold per turn. 2 free specialists in Anapuerca, especially if we let it grow for a bit, would be quite good. But speaking of letting it grow, I want to actually prioritize getting more food in Anapuerca, which may sound a little crazy to say. And when I say more food, I do know there's a lot of food tiles over here in the water I could work. Could also go for the Moe statues, but now that I have used up all my captives, or most of my captives, I don't think this is super worth it, and the additional production from this is just not, you know, amazingly important. Okay. In Anapuerca, let's build... Well, the other thing I can do over here is I can actually build more military units. So I kind of want to get some of the buildings that provide additional XP for riders, so I can get more elephant riders. Because I'm thinking, against Ragnar, he may want to use his well, he's researching it now, but the soon-to-be newly researched chariots, who are a hard counter to all of my melee units. Even spearmen, who are the best anti-chariot unit, are going to struggle with the 5 strength, as opposed to what chariots have to offer, which is 7 strength. And yeah, I think that they're going to largely be able to even kill spearmen, though not as amazingly as they are against axemen. They're more versatile than the Civ 4 vanilla chariots, which are basically just an anti-axeman unit in particular. We could also build more archers, who are of course really good on defense and as city defenders. Getting an archer up to defend the fort that I'm building north of my northern city could be quite nice. And I think it may be worth doing that. Let's see. He already gets 7 XP already, so that's pretty good. I could also get ambushers. Or I could get rogues. Although waiting for them to be upgraded to burglars, which happens in this age, could be quite nice. Okay, let's consider our options here. So, if I have an army of just elephants and mammoths, what does this mean for my war with Ragnar, my future war with Ragnar? Well, let's actually first consider, what is his unique unit? I need to know this. Civilization, Scandinavia, no, it's Viking. That's not very helpful. Special, no. Where is it? Culture, here we go. So Viking, is that what this one's called? Yeah. Here it is. So the Berserker. This is, I think, yeah, this is a swordsman replacement. There he is. Okay, so he's better versus melee, I think, than the swordsman. Yeah, he is. Okay, so we're fine then on that front. Let's see. So, with that in mind, I mean, I kind of think like an army just of beasts is kind of an interesting idea. And I think, honestly, like, I don't really see a clear downside here. So the elephants are my main field combat guys, and I guess the main downside is that no one gets any defensive bonuses. That is the main downside. So I do still need screening units to help protect them. So who's going to be best? So let's consider this then. Who actually will roll against elephants when they attack a stack with elephants? It's going to be spearmen or other units that have an anti-mounted mechanic. And keep in mind, elephants and mammoths are both slow. One movement per turn. So these are mounted units in a combat sense, but not in a strategic sense. So, namely, I think spearmen are going to be my main kind of threat. And do horsemen? Actually, let me check. Do horsemen have an anti-mounted? Because I think they use spears. Let's see. I'm fairly sure not. Yeah, strength versus archers. Yeah, horsemen aren't exactly anti-mounted themselves. I think what I probably want to do... Let's see, who is going to be... So axemen are best versus spearmen. And basically, like what I've been doing, I could use the axemen to screen the mammoth and elephants and protect them from attackers, while they are just defending. Which means I could actually potentially get axemen that I give... I mean, this is kind of a weird idea. What if I trained new axemen that I give the armed guard bonus to, so that they literally are just defending? I kind of like the idea, though, of them being able to attack as well. So let's see. My units are returning to my nation now, so let's go ahead and kind of take stock and see what we have. Let's do a fight with you. So, got 1, 2, 3, 4,
You get
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think I actually maybe kill one of these axemen. How about you? I have 322. So that gives us 12 axemen, which I think should be more than enough to act as just defenders. That's 12 bits of upkeep out of the 46. So we have 34 remaining upkeep room for elephants and mammoths. And that's, I don't even know, again, if mammoths actually cost upkeep or not. And if they don't, that'd be kind of insane. I think I kind of like this plan. So the army composition will basically be this. We have regular elephant riders, and I already have, 1, 2, 3, and then how many are left? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we only have 9 at the moment. But of course, we can train more shortly. So we've got 9 elephant riders. I think I maybe want to expand it to a core of maybe 20, 25 elephant riders. And these are basically my main kind of combatant. They are fighting in the fields. Well, actually, they're likely, ideally, fighting in the jungle and forest, but they could fight in the fields as well. They're not very fast, so my entire army is slow. This is a slow-moving, bestial army. But these guys here, as elephants, are very bulky. Anti-mounted units that try to attack my... So basically, let me phrase it like this. I've got 3 units in my army, 3 types of units. The elephant riders are my hybrid siege attack, field attack, and kind of general purpose unit that basically is the main muscle of my army. The axemen are there to screen the elephants and the mammoths from anti-mounted units, which at this stage is likely going to mostly be spearmen. I don't think, because in real life, a lot of ranged units are actually anti-mounted, so let me actually see really quick. Archers don't have an anti-mounted element, do they? No. I mean, they can still attack from a range, but they're not, like, specifically anti-mounted. What about javelineers? When do they show up? Probably pretty soon. Probably with the military training tech, if I had to guess. Let me find it in this list. Where the hell is there anything? I never know. It's around here somewhere, but at least once we get to bronze working. So let's look at bronze working. This is the big military tech of the age. So, okay, Macemen, this is a city attack. This is a hybrid city attack anti-melee unit. So this entire army composition is kind of pre-bronze working. So let me see. So, and then if we go back. So Axemen, my Obsidian Axemen, my Neanderthal Obsidian Axemen can all promote into this. This is going to be just the same role, but even stronger. Okay. Oh my gosh. And then, let's see what else. Composite Bowmen. This is the upgrade to archers, I'm fairly sure. Yeah, this is just archers, but even better. Okay. And then, let's see. Oh, chariots also require bronze working. I didn't notice that. Okay. That is good for me to clarify to myself, because this means Ragnar isn't getting chariots super soon, which is reassuring. It means that my current, mostly Axeman army isn't in danger of a chariot rush. Yeah, these guys require chariotry and bronze working, which is nice. Admittedly, there are historically some chariots that I think precede bronze working, but I'm not the expert on that by any means. Either way, so that is good to know. So I could also eventually get chariots as an anti-melee unit, which is sort of what my axemen do, but the reality is that I don't really need mobility. Like, I have a very slow-moving monster army, literally, of elephants, mammoths, and at the moment, these axemen, which I think I can just keep and replace when I upgrade them to bronze-wielding, or I should say, kind of copper tool bronze-wielding axemen, or copper-wielding axemen. So, having said that, I think what I do is I basically keep my entire current army, and then I basically build more elephant riders, because I think the number of axemen I have is actually sufficient. I think what I do is I kind of build... I want to kind of establish army groups again, and keep them kind of organized that way. And each army group should have mostly elephants, with a smaller axeman defense element, and some mammoths. But ultimately, the mammoths are mainly there to fight cities. I could even keep the mammoths in like their own separate like siege stack that I guard with my army. Having them be in the main stack just endangers them when they're only really there as anti-city units. So I kind of like this idea. So let's go for this kind of weird elephant, mammoth, and axeman army composition. And then when I hit bronze working, let's consider how this may change. I don't think it really changes at all. I think what bronze working does is it gives me the slightly stronger, more modern axeman at bronze working, but otherwise the role that macemen play is already done by the mammoths better than they do. I don't really need the chariots because my elephants and mammoths are so bulky that melee units that somehow get through my axemen, who are going to be selecting when they attack, and then when I'm attacking, obviously then I'll deal with that, but I just don't think the chariots are necessary. I could though build some let's see, war chariot. Oh, that's Egyptian. Never mind. Xiphos, what is this? This is the Minoan one. Interesting. It's a swordsman with city attack. Let me take a look again at the cav line here. Because what is my weakness then if I have? Because the archery units are not very good offensively. Their strength isn't very high. I mean, obviously, against cities, or in cities, they're in great shape. Oh, here we go. Yeah, spearmen. Let's take a look. I mean, this would get them to 9. This sees them putting up a pretty serious threat to my elephants and my mammoths. My obsidian axes can, I think, largely handle them, and once I get to bronze working axes, I definitely can. But then there's also the issue of javelineers, who are also unlocked with copper working. So this is kind of interesting. We actually have kind of 2 points in the age. We have a kind of earlier point with copper working, and then a later point with bronze working, where the military units are reorganized. Because we also see javelineers here. Okay, yeah, this is the one that's good versus mounted, but only 25%. Let's see, that's what, like 7 or so? So they're going to be more dangerous to elephants, and they're also not considered melee, so my axemen don't have a strong bonus against them. So let's see, who's good against archers? Horsemen are good against archers, right? I mean, they were historically, so let's see. Horsemen, where are you in the list? There you are. Yeah. And then these guys become mounted infantry with horse breeding, which is in, I think, the mid-Ancient Age. Anyways, yeah, these are the anti-archer unit. I could potentially have some mounted infantry, although are Javelineers considered archers? I'm actually not sure if they are. No, they're considered throwing, aren't they? Units, ancient, Javelineers. Yeah, this is a throwing unit. What do I have that counters throwing available to me? It's a pretty niche scenario. None of my melee units are good against throwing in particular. I'm pretty sure of that. Are one of my possible, like, weird alt history units good versus throwing? I think I kind of remember something was. Was it the Rhino? Hold on. There's an easier way to see this, actually. So the bears are... These are, like, super duper anti-siege oriented, which is interesting. Oops. The big cats are not necessarily good versus anything in particular. They're just kind of ambush units. Okay. Bison? Is this the one? Bison Rider. These are the anti-elephant, anti-mammoth units. That's kind of interesting. Whoever I'm fighting should probably get this, honestly. The Rhino. Yeah, okay, mounted as a class has a bonus versus throwing. That's right. Which actually means my mammoths have a bonus versus throwing, and my elephants do, because they're also considered mounted. Hold on. Ancient... no, prehistoric. Elephant Rider. Yeah, bonus versus throwing, and mammoths I think are the same. Mammoth Rider. Yep. Okay, so we should be okay against Javelineers. That's interesting that Javelineers are... I guess the idea is that offensively they're good against mounted, and then mounted is offensively good against them. So that's interesting. I just have to... I guess in that case, probably the Axemen become the defender when they... Why am I over in civics? Become the defender when they attack. I think that's probably what that means. Interesting. Okay. Oh, they also... No, they build faster with bronze working. Never mind. I was about to say they also require bronze working. Everything requires bronze working. Okay. So I think the key takeaway here is that I don't delete any more of my axemen or my elephants. They're going to be the bulk of my army. I think this is the right maneuver. Again, everyone costs the same amount of upkeep. It's just the production cost that's higher for these units, which I can manage with my cities. So this is how I survive the Ancient Age, especially until we get to bronze working and we can start getting our axemen upgraded. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we'll deal with all that later. So okay, I think that's going to be it for this turn. Let's go ahead and continue. I also promised my girlfriend to do a shorter recording this time. She was not the happiest about the nearly 9-hour recording. I don't blame her. I think it's reasonable. I don't know who in their right mind would want to play this game for such a long time, but here I am. This is probably going to be more of a, like maybe a 3-ish hour recording. Of course, we'll see what happens, but I want to respect that she wants to spend time with me because she is my girlfriend and I love her. And of course, you know, I don't know if for what it means to any of you, but if I had to choose between playing this game ever again and being with her, I'd pick her every time. No doubt about it. Obviously, I love Caveman to Cosmos, but I love my girlfriend more than any of the other games, or of any games anywhere. Doesn't even matter which one. Okay, let's proceed after that little romantic comment. Honestly, the fact that I'm someone who is in a position where I'm playing Caveman to Cosmos for a 9-hour stretch, and I have a girlfriend is kind of an insane thing to be the case. Like, this is not exactly a game for the average eligible bachelor to be playing. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves organized here. I'm going to just get everyone healed up in Carajuela first, so everyone who needs to heal, do so here. All of you guys fortify until healed, although you guys don't need to actually heal. Okay, hold on, this is awkward. So you heal, let's just go one by one. Can you break the group, please? Okay, stop, yeah, separate the group. I don't love these groups every time that they pop up. All of you just heal. You're ready to move, so are you. Okay, so hurrying the production could be smart, but I could also have them join the population of the city, which is an interesting idea. I wonder if actually joining Benolus's population could be a good idea, especially with this being worked kind of soon. It's about to grow, though. Maybe Nerja, which just grew kind of recently. Or I could actually rush population over in Caceres. Yeah, this one here needs population the most. I'm going to go ahead and have these two make their way over to Caceres. We're going to go city by city, though. Okay, everyone who is healthy and ready to move. Not you.
Don't give them no chance!
Okay, all of you, head on over to Benolus. We're going to get them reorganized over there. This worker here, I'm just going to go, I will keep a worker sleeping over here. I think I'll have enough room in my unit upkeep in time to be able to do that, so that'll be fine. The subdued warthog, let's get the taxon Suide over here. Subdued horse, nothing for you to construct at the moment. Let's go ahead and just do an animal fight. Let's get the old man of the forest discovered. What is this? Interesting. I guess it's like a kind of perspective on gorillas. So, fair enough. We have a lot of moon bears for some reason. Don't know where I got all those moon bears. But okay, that's fair. Alright. I just noticed that there's actually a barb animal that I may need to deal with on the way to Nerja. Or, I mean, on the way to Benolus. I guess it's also on the way to Nerja in a sense, but you know what I mean. Alright, so slowly these lands I conquered from the Celts will fade away. This guy now get his next thing here. Let me double check here. March is available from Combat 3. I'm actually going to let this guy wait and then get March when I can get the next available one. I genuinely just want March on both of my hunters as soon as possible here. I know it's a little bit annoying to leave the bonus, the upgrade available, but I desperately want to get March. Especially now that I can have these guys recommit to just doing hunting, which is what they're here to do. Let's continue to hunt on this side of the continent, though. I will say, with the bonuses I'm getting for the other terrain types, their need to even heal will decline more and more. So soon I'll be able to basically keep them moving and hunting every single turn, as much as possible every turn. Okay, you have arrived. I think I want you to go this direction as well. I could do a hurry production, but I think I'd rather add population somewhere that's more valuable. Okay, so...
Don't give them no chance!
Let's see.
You're not
You
so tough!
heal up. You heal up. You heal up. You head to Benolus because you're already healed. Do a fight. Let's get Taxon Reptilia. The old world monkeys. Then do a fight and do a fight. And then the two of you head over to Benolus. Alright, so this workboat is done. Try to get here. We'll see if we can make it or not, but one way to find out. Nerja is ready for a build order, which I forgot to give it. In fact, I think I forgot to give build orders to every single place, and I just said I was going to give everyone. Okay, everyone's about to finish anyway, so let's do the build orders now. Now we know how this will work in terms of the building the various buildings everywhere. So in Carajuela, we're just going to focus on production because I want to get, because I also now think I need to get a great hunter out in order to get the mammoths built elsewhere. So for now, let's just focus on production and then build the mammoths here. Plus, I mean, the saddler is still a good building to get because it provides some money. So let's go ahead and get the saddler in the queue. In fact, I might actually rush the saddler. No, that's not very use for him. Let's not be silly about that. There's no rush over here, as it were. Okay, all of you look good. You all just wait. Also, after folk dance, I think I want to go for mining next. I also do have caste system, but I haven't revolted into it. It would have required, I think, 7 turns of revolt. We were in the middle of the war. We're about to go to war. I don't remember which one. I could also get sailing now, which is very tempting. Very, very tempting. But let's be realistic. We need mining next. No time to waste. We could also consider if it makes sense to rush for any particular religion. I mentioned before being interested in Mesopotamian. However, I don't think this is going to scale that well, as the background thing notes, with advancing in age. I want something that will work later on as well. Let's see. Egyptian requires everything. Everything requires a lot of stone, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with something else. Requires bricks. Okay, maybe not. This one provides a lot of culture and research, which is quite nice. I just don't think I need culture super urgently. I've got plenty of that from hunting at the moment. I wonder if it makes sense to maybe push a bit further on towards Hinduism. Which, well, let's see all the different options here. So we've also got Yoruba. Let's see. So we can basically get different, like, oral traditions from the Yoruba religion, which is kind of cool, honestly. So we have to build the Pataki of Olafin. Here it is, somewhere in any city. So this has to go first. So happiness of state religion, which having divine cult would help even further. And some more culture, some health with church, interestingly. Looking at the Yoruba missionary. Oh, there he is. Okay. And then what else can we get? So these are just regular buildings. So we can build one in every single city, I think. These aren't wonders. It does require you to have state religion Yoruba in the city. Okay. This is interesting. Let's see what these all do. So the Pataki of Obatala gives a lot more culture. I think these all give great profit bonuses as well. 10% birth rate, 5% maintenance. Ooh, that's actually, it's kind of good. I'm not gonna lie. I can build this in every city. I mean, that is kind of good. We need priesthood. Again, we just need we don't need a Pataki of Olafin in the city. I mean, we may as well build one in every city eventually. But we just need it somewhere. We need Yoruba to be the state religion, which Divine Cult can make possible. Pataki of Ogun. 10% military unit production, health, research. Okay, they all provide education as well. These are kind of good. Lots of extra food from... Oh, this is perfect from fishing resources, which most of my cities will be on the coast. With deer? I've got deer everywhere. One per city. Oh, this must be the... is this... Yeah, this is the sort of great... What's it called? Like the holy site building. Honestly, possibly controversial idea. I think Yoruba looks kind of good. I don't think any of you were expecting me to go for Yoruba, of all things, as the potential religion. But we can always change our religion in the future if we need to. I like how flexible this is. Like, all these buildings are buildable everywhere, except for, of course, the holy site. But we basically get a number, and again, the number of buildings you can get, as opposed to having, like, just monasteries and temples, it's a production thing, and we've got plenty of production all over the place. All of these strengthen all of our cities, I think, in every way that the cities would need. Let's consider some other early religions. We also got Andeism. So this one here There's the holy site, Andean temple, Andean monastery. Provides some research. So this one's more research oriented, which is quite nice. Okay, pretty standard stuff. Andean cathedral, again, kind of standard stuff. We've got Machu Picchu, which requires Andean, super high defense. Though we have to have a peak in vicinity, which is kind of a scenario we have to sort of see happen here. El Dorado, interesting. Plenty of gold. That's quite nice. Okay, so Andeism is solid. I think honestly, like, okay, let's see what else is there in the ancient age. We also got Nagaism. This one has some interesting mechanics I'm reading it right now. No buildings. So we actually have the blessings that are built by, I think, the missionaries. This one is very similar actually to shamanism. It requires different animals for the blessings, and it makes the animal resources better, or it makes the city better with the animal resource here. This is interesting. I really think Yoruba is like a very versatile, because it doesn't require, a lot of the religions are themed around specific like resources, but Yoruba is very like non-committal. It doesn't really require like specific animals or specific like building resources to get the most out of it. It just buffs all the cities a little bit in every way. Okay. Let's also consider the late ancient age religions. These are some really good ones to consider. So we got Cananism. This one's very culture oriented. So it doesn't have a lot of unique stuff going on here. Yeah, it really very much does. Yeah, this is just basically standard stuff here. Okay. And then we've got, so the Cananism would be like a default option. Zoroastrian I know for sure has some unique stuff, but I think this one's really anti-slavery, which is historically accurate. The Zoroastrian religion was unusually for its time quite anti-slavery. So we would need to basically try to get rid of slavery to have Zoroastrian. This one also provides some culture bonuses. There's a number of wonders, and a lot of the religions that have more information, or like, not more information, but have like a more kind of like industrious, like kind of, builder nation that was involved. So like obviously Zoroastrianism was the, the Persians and kind of their area. Whereas like Yoruba is more like an oral tradition, so it didn't really have like any giant structures being built that survive now. So lots of these wonders are pretty good. But again, like, I'm gonna have so much to build, and I don't know if I can win wonder races every time. And I guess in fairness, you have to have the religion to build the wonders, so these wonders are not going to be super competitive. And these are certainly good. Some of these wonders are really, really good. However, I just really think Yoruba kind of looks really good for what my strategy is. I just want a religion that will strengthen my cities in whatever climate they're in. I'm going to have cities in all sorts of different biomes with different resources. We can't guarantee, certain resources in every city. Let's look at Judaism. Judaism has more culture and money. Let's see here. Solomon's Temple. Okay, this is a standard world wonder. 50% defense. Extra hammers from priests. More priest slots. Although with a caste system, I don't need to worry about that. Ark of the Covenant is really solid. Bonuses for all of the cities. I think Judaism is like one of the stronger ancient age wonders because it provides some additional financial bonuses. It makes sense. Judaism was a very organized religion for its time, with a very organized priesthood and a very strong kind of cultural identity of like time and place. I mean, it still is to this day very connected to the land that it's from. And so you'd have a more organized priesthood, more of a place in like society where, as opposed to being something that exists alongside society, as it were. I mean, ancient Israel was essentially like almost like a theocracy, or at least it maybe was. I don't really know. I'm sure there's debate about that, but either way, this could be really good. And it's obviously both in real life and also in the mod. You could have some staying power. These are some really good scaling bonuses. But I think a lot of these require, it's double production with stone. These do require bricks. Gold wares, I'm sure we could get gold somewhere. Then finally, let's look at Hinduism. I don't really want to wait until classical. I want to get a religion going this age, and I want to really get it established as a major force, and ideally maybe convert Bismarck to it. Bismarck does have his Tengrism, but maybe I can convince him. I think I'm not going to be able to be friendly with Ragnar. I'll try to stave him off, but he's either going to attack me this age, or I may attack him this age. But I want to be friendly with Bismarck. Bismarck will be more manageable as an AI than Ragnar, despite them both being kind of aggressive. Ragnar is kind of more of a warmonger, and Bismarck is just an opportunist. And if I can get the Bismarck AI to convert to my religion, that would be huge. So Hinduism, this also provides some money and some culture as well. It's very similar to Judaism. It's a very well-established part of ancient Indian civilization, so that makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Lots of wonders, also the different shrines. Okay, we get the Brahmin library. Again, with caste system, some of these bonuses are kind of already available to us. Yeah, like, these wonders are good, but all of the wonders in the mod are good. And I think actually having more buildings that all my cities can build, which of course a wonder can only be built in one place, is kind of, like, really, really good for my strategy. I think I'm going to go for Yoruba, and I think I want to actually try to get there first. So, what this requires is, so it requires polytheism, which we will get in time. This is basically in the middle of the Ancient Age. It also requires ceremony, which requires heritage, which I will get to in the near future. This comes from board games, and this comes from standardization, which I already have taxonomy, and then this requires the wheel, which I'm going to go for in the near future. So I think it's doable. And considering that when we look at the list of AIs, who is going to get there first? I'm not really sure anyone else. I mean, again, like, I don't know if the AI would prioritize it, but they also can get to Mesopotamian or Kemetism first. And I mean, the AI seems to really like founding religions in this mod. If we look at, why am I going here? If we look at the foreign advisor, let's see, not the foreign advisor, the religious advisor. So, shamanism is gone. No one worships it. Yeah. In fact, I think it may just be, just because of how things worked out, it may just be gone from the game forever, which is a shame. So we already have the Dutch with Druidism, and then Bismarck with Tengrism. So the question becomes, is Ragnar, or is Itzcoatl, or I'm sorry, Itzcoatl, or is Saladin, or the Aborigines, are any of them going to actually not develop a religion first, and then also get to Yoruba before I get there, if I'm focusing on it? I don't think so. I actually really like the idea of Yoruba because, again, it can help me develop all of my cities and not just one really good wonder-producing city, which is kind of the strategy that I've had. But I've got so much to build, and I want to make sure that I'm not putting myself in a position where I can only get the full value of the religion with wonders. So I think I've made a call there that I'm happy with. And so having said that, because I know I'm going to go for Yoruba, we don't need to worry about switching to Divine Cult super soon, although I may still switch potentially to caste system kind of soon. Let's see. Yeah, this is quite a bit more maintenance. This is basically another, like, 12 maintenance or so. Well, maybe not that much. Actually, maybe that much, which is not necessary to switch to, so let's just wait. Caste system, let's see. This is a maintenance reduction. And I think it actually is worth it to possibly do this now. Let's see. So we do now have maintenance from all cities, but we have less maintenance. No, we had that before. We have less maintenance from everything. Or no, we have more maintenance from all cities, less maintenance from distance and number, which I think is better for expansion at this stage. We also have reduced birth rate. That's fine. I'm already going to have pretty slow great person generation for now anyways, so it's fine. Unlimited scientists, merchants, and engineers. Super, super good for potentially using growth and possibly holding off on whipping as much to keep my specialists working. 2 more experience for all units. That's pretty good. War unhappiness is not as severe. Faster improvement building. Faster military unit production. Okay. The growth malice goes away. That's excellent. Extra, basically extra food from the food improvements and extra production from the production improvements. That's obviously really good. The modifiers in all cities in the capital are generally improved. We also get more happiness in cities with the state religion. Again, I don't have the state religion yet, and I won't for a while, but the benefits to this are really good even without a state religion in place. I think I want to revolt in a caste system, but when do I do it is the question. I think I may want to wait a little bit. Let me get my army fully reorganized and get... Well, is there even really a reason to wait? I don't think so. I think we want to revolt in the caste system right now. 7 turns is a lot, but let's do it. 7 turns of anarchy. So once this is done, then we'll get our build order set up. So for now, let's just throw on the, I don't know, throw on a mud bath here. So everything is going to be just basically stuck in place for right now. All right, that's fine. So doing this while our units are getting reorganized is, of course, also fine. So this also ends exile practices, which that's fine. I don't need exile practices anymore, honestly. So, okay, so this is fine. You're sleeping. Let's go ahead and end the turn. We've adopted caste system. Good to see you. Yeah, I hope I've articulated my reasons for wanting Yoruba over the other early religions. Again, I could also wait for classical age religions, but I would rather just get... Because from my point of view, my goal is for the religion to benefit me and my nation. If I spread it to others, that's nice, but on Nightmare difficulty, I can't really rely on anything, including religion, to meaningfully get the AI to like me. None of them will ever like me, no matter what I do. I could just try to delay them from attacking me as best I can. Seemingly, my insane warmongering towards Boudica has not made them all hate me, which is kind of impressive, but I think I've got a pretty good idea here of what to do. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? The stupid whale is the bane of my life. Alright, once we were able to get... I didn't even think about this. I probably should have finished Folk Dance, which I was really close to finishing. Oh well, it's fine. I still want to get the bonuses from this this new civic in place, so it's fine. But yeah, basically, if I can spread Yoruba in the Scandinavian cities, that's great, but I'm not going to count on it. I could just go ahead and get Combat 4 on this guy, but let's just continue to hold out for March. I should say spread Yoruba to Scandinavia and also to Bismarck. Ultimately, I basically think I have to fight Scandinavia, and I'll try to do it on my terms, because they are likely going to eventually fight me. But with Bismarck, I think I can probably be friendly with him for longer, if that makes sense. Again, eventually I'll kind of have to fight everyone, but I want to delay things as much as I can here. Okay, so you go ahead and head on over. Same thing with you. Taxon Sveniskidae. Okay, looks good. We'll wait for the anarchy to finish before we take a look at our possible specialist options as well. Things are going to be pretty slow at the moment. Alright. I know this episode has had a lot of just yapping, but I think I'm getting a very clear vision of how I play through the Ancient Age. It was always a concern that once the kind of novelty of the Prehistoric Age was wrapped up, that I'd, just like lose interest and kind of run out of stuff to do. But I see a very clear vision for what I'm doing in this age. Now that I've killed Boudica, which was a goal for the age that I've achieved already, the plan is to get firm control of, and I'll just go so you can see it more clearly to this screen here. The plan is to get firm control of basically everything south of the icy peak in the center, kind of southeast of the Pangea. All of this, the whole coastline, I want to be mine. This all belongs to me in my mind. And with Boudica gone, I don't want the Dutch to squeeze in here. I don't want, particularly Germany or more likely Ragnar to try to sneak down here. They already have, Ragnar has cities around the peak. I don't love that, but I'm willing to accept it. As long as he doesn't settle south of the peak, that is the line in the sand for me. And I want to have an army that is strong enough on paper to fully scare Ragnar away from attacking me, like he has done in previous episodes, as you surely recall. Okay, we're just going to move at normal speed in case like an animal attacks. I just don't want any funny business here. I know it's slow, but it's fine. I continue the warpath over here. Not going to get very much from the actual hunt rewards, but we want to keep the animals coming in. We can still get the money from doing the animal fights. Actually, maybe it is actually being saved up in the background and like added. It seems to be actually. Okay. Well, fair enough. Okay, 5 more turns of anarchy, and then the caste system will be fully established. The reduction in maintenance will be quite nice as well. Very, very nice. In fact, I'm actually wondering about well, no, I need to wait for despotism. At the moment, I'm at my soft city cap with tribalism, with my 5 cities. With despotism, it'll go to 8 cities. And I do think I need to adhere to that. I think it's like 5 more unhappiness in every city for each new city. That's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to manage that. I don't think it's worth founding another city and then inflicting that on myself. So that is the effective soft cap. And I think my new cities need to be expansions, possibly into Boudica's territory. I would like to add cities closer to my core to reduce the maintenance cost, but I have to also think about the long term here. I think for now I can just attack anyone who shows up and stave them off. I can fortify 4 turns. That's perfect, actually. Keep getting XP. This guy is ready for March. He's been ready for March for ages. All right. Head over here. You 2 are healed up. Head on over. You have also healed up. You can add this. You can fight, and you can fight. You can fight next turn. Head on over. Okay. This is a really interesting series for me. I will say, I'm wondering how many of you, I mean, I guess, hundreds of you watch these videos, but how many people who have made it all the way from the very first episode, a 6-hour, low volume kind of editing mess of an episode. I think it's interesting that there was such a strong reaction to me for just literally 20 minutes playing my mashup album while nothing was going on. Sure, the audio from the episode kind of made it more loud than I was intending. That was a problem with the whole episode. But half the comments on that video are like, "This was a great video, but your music is terrible. Don't play your music anymore." It's just okay, wow. I get it. This is ultimately a video series to show off Caveman to Cosmos and have a fun time playing, and it's mostly been just that, without much else going on. But I think it's kind of funny how such a small section of the video, everyone has something to say about it. I don't really mind. I understand where people are coming from, particularly because there's just not a lot of Caveman to Cosmos content on YouTube. So I'm sure a lot of people who were excited to see someone doing a series like this were put off by whether it was the music or my my presentation of myself, or what I talk about. I don't feel like I really talk about controversial topics that often compared to some YouTubers. I'm not a politics streamer or anything like that. have a lot of thoughts about it, but I just don't really feel like this is the venue to really focus on that. Not because I have an issue with like offending people that I disagree with politically. I don't think I can convince them to change their mind on the things that I think matter to me, honestly. So I just don't think it's like worth it to really try to convince them. Ultimately, like, I didn't used to have the beliefs that I do, and I had to figure out myself why the values I have now are, in my opinion, the correct values for people to have. And so I don't think it's my place for people I don't know to insist that they, bend to my preferences. That's not usually very effective in a way to change anyone's mind about anything. And especially in the internet age, like, political discourse isn't truly discourse. It's more so about, political, messaging control. In my opinion, I could probably talk about that a lot more. I have a lot of thoughts about this, but that's a whole thing. I just think that, like, the age of, like, the market square, if there ever was such an age, which arguably there wasn't, where people worked out their political opinions in, like, a free, like, open, like, meritorious conversation, at this stage in the world, that's just not how it works essentially anywhere, in any way, for any kind of topic. At most, maybe, like, internal to factions, like political factions, like their internal disputes sometimes are worked out this way, but even then, it's mostly, like with all things with politics, about resources and not about the value of ideas. The people who have the most resources to support their vision are the ones who impose their vision on everybody else. That's how politics has kind of always worked, and that's how I think politics works when it comes to modern politics as well. I think it's maybe that's a cynical view of it, but I think that view is supported by the history. And I think that all historical periods of politics of all kinds, of all sorts of governments and visions of what is better for society, it's largely been a kind of Machiavellian, very kind of, the strength rules everything approach, but not necessarily in like a pure like military strength sense, but rather a strength of framing. If you can convince people that your idea is what is fundamentally right, whether it's because of morals or religion, people will go against their own interests their own material interests and their class interests to pursue that idea. That's been borne out over and over and over in politics. And so in my opinion, the reason why I value politics and critical thought is that it's essentially the most powerful tool for a language-using species like ourselves, because you can basically trick people into doing things that are good for you and bad for them. And that's essentially what most politics is trickery, right? It's a big smokescreen. But anyways, I'll leave it at that before I get disappeared from my views about this. Anyways, okay, our first couple of units have arrived in Benolis. So, I think I'm going to have Benolis, or actually I'm going to have the Seal spot actually be my kind of gathering place to get my new armies set up here. These guys have arrived as well. I guess I'll leave them in Benolis for now, because this guy here could cause a problem. Let me find, where's my hunter? I need to bring him back over to clear this guy out again. This one swamp has spawned, the whale has shown up over here now. Great. Wait, is he? Oh, he's blocking it, that's why. I need to get this stupid whale out of here. Okay, do I get a new I get the ancient workboat. I think this workboat, it just does stuff faster, so it still gets consumed, I think. But okay, is the outrigger yeah, it is, okay. Yes, the kayak. But it's worse, though. 3 strength. Oh, that's why. So this became 4 strength. And this becomes 4.5 strength. So, okay, so this math actually does make sense. I retract my annoyance at that. So I need to build some outriggers, which I can with sailing. I can't build them before that. So we can get there sort of soon. I'm really tempted to go for it sooner so I can get this goddamn whale out of here. This thing is ruining my life. Keeps destroying all my boats, but it's fine. Mining has to come first. Let's be realistic here. Okay, let's wait for the anarchy to finish, and then we will get society reestablished. Johann founding Maastricht. Nice. I really like this soundtrack. This mod, for all of its problems, and even though I've been playing this campaign for now like 50 hours or something, as you've surely noticed, I don't have like 100% like approval of everything in this mod. I have a lot of issues with this mod, but it really is doing something that no other Civilization mod that I've ever played has sort of achieved, and I think it's been really fun for me despite the issues that I've had here and there. It's worth it in the end. Okay, so let's go ahead, and you can just sleep here as well for now. Okay, so you have arrived. Actually, you are not healed for some reason. You just head over here. And you two head over here. We'll get everyone organized, and we'll get them oh yeah, anarchy. We don't actually know our current income situation. That's fair enough. The other thing I can do is actually build more enforcers for anti-crime purposes, which is maybe worth considering. Maybe. Okay, you. Alright, we've gotten this. Oh, you got a great admiral? What is Bismarck doing? Crazy. I wish I could just select what I want. Also, 22 now is actually really good. Really, really good. Alright, let's continue hunting with you so we can get March. Alright, you guys who are fully healed up, head on over here. Okay, so let's see. We've got 12 axemen. Let me actually double check that really quick. Okay, 8 and 5. Well, that's actually 13. Oh, 14. We have a 14th axeman. I thought we had... I must have miscounted. I thought we had 13 before, but we actually had 15. Well, I would have preferred to actually have 15, but that's okay. I think having 12 total is the way to go. So, let's see.
You not so tough!
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
You not so tough!
So these, I'm going to move these 4 here just to organize them. I'm going to start setting up. So 4 axemen per army should be fine for now. Again, they're not really going to engage in combat offensively very often. They're just there to defend the stack. Also, what do you work? Oh, we got... Ooh, that's really lucky. We actually did expand this, and this is... Oh, this isn't to the influence? Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, stupid. I guess technically it's not an influence, but because we control the fort, it like visually seems to be. Well, okay, inertia did expand, which is nice, nonetheless. Okay, we'll come back to that later, actually. One thing at a time. So, okay, let's get these 2 elephants up here. And then you head here. You guys all just defend for now. We'll get the rest organized as we arrive. And then... then you guys head here. Which means we actually then need 1 more axeman here. That's actually perfect. Actually, let's have this force be in my territory. That's probably a smarter idea. I don't know why I sent them out of my territory for no reason. Extra maintenance. Oops. Okay, so now we've finished our anarchy. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we can do over here. So we can just... Nope. Here we go. Okay. So we can have infinite merchants, which is kind of insane. And so it was merchants and... merchants, scientists, and engineers. Ooh. Oh, that's really good. That's really, really good. Okay. Let us go ahead and actually completely remove all of the workers... all the workers from... Oh, jeez. All the workers from all of the cities and get everyone reorganized. And then get our build orders reorganized as well. Okay. So starting in Atapuerca. So what do we need to do here? So let's first get our build order figured out. So I do want to finish the stele, which will give me even more happiness with divine cults, which I will get in the future. And then this replaces the monument, so I don't need to worry about that. I do think that, and this is 105 production with nothing being worked, by the way, which is insane. Let's see. The flint napper would help me build archers faster, but it's not particularly super critical. I suppose this may also help with my... This is probably considered a military building, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. I don't know what it's considered. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's see, does dried fish give me anything? I'm sure it probably does. Let's go ahead and just finally get some kind of cheaper buildings that I have been neglecting for a long time. Particularly food buildings, so the dried fish maker. I will get the flint napper and the smoke signals. Flammability here is becoming a problem, but I can't do too much about it at the moment. I already have what I have to try to control it a little bit. Also, the spiked pit trap would be quite nice to grab as well. Let's work our way there. When do I get city planning? I need to figure this out, because city planning obsoletes hundreds of trillions of buildings. I think it's over here, isn't it? It's an early classical age. Here it is. It's, yeah, I characterize this as early classical age. So we are a ways away from that, which means buildings that are obsolete with city planning I can pretty safely. So I'll get, like, the rock art. Branding hut, with the extra culture, we're going to get influential, or whatever's above influential. Actually, I don't know if we're currently influential or if it's above influential. Nonetheless, this requires obedience. How long do I have obedience still? City-states requires masonry. Okay, well, we are working our way there. I may just ignore the branding hut because this becomes obsoleted once I switch out of obedience. So then we get the wood carver, the bird collar, the furniture maker is worth quite a bit, and the dining hall. Basically just queue up everything. And then let's end with the spiked pit trap, and then we'll kind of take stock from there. So a very economic-focused build order here. Okay, you go ahead and work on that. And then, in terms of what we want to do with our actual units, or our actual workers, so let's go ahead and first work stuff that is just insanely valuable. So anything with more than 5 yields in 2 spots, this is close enough. These with the high production is worth getting. And these two, let's see. Oh, hold on, let me actually reset everything. So the alternatives we could go for. So the scientists would just give us flat research, which would be quite nice. Our current research at the moment is 225 per turn at 100%. So, let's see. Could also go for the engineers, although this does cost 1 income per engineer. I think the merchants are a very strong option, and generally the merchants are better than the celebrities. So I can now stop working celebrities everywhere and go for merchants, who I'd rather get the birth rate than the happiness in most scenarios. So, let's see here. If I were to go for the 2 that provide more than 5 and 2 yields, that's 100% worth it. This is a super, super high food tile. This actually does provide an additional 7 food. This is then, let's see, 4 more food and another 4 food. This we are eating so much more. These ones here only provide 1 because of the food cost that you're gaining, the way that it scales. So then let's switch over to stuff that provides high production. And let's see. It's only 2 more food. This is 2 more food, but it's also 4 more wealth. I think that's worth it. And then, let's see, so already just from that we're at negative 45. So with this arrangement here, especially if I can get more population to Atapuerca, I think I want to work the doctor for the additional disease management. 144 -1. This will update on the next turn. The spy is a maybe. We're now sending 0 of our espionage to Boudica. We're still focusing on Regno. We've got all of his city visibility now. I think that's probably fine for now. I don't think I need espionage urgently right now. So I think what I do... Ooh, okay, it comes down to merchant versus scientist. I think I will wait with my remaining 3. Actually, yeah, okay, let's work the 3 scientists for now. Whoops. What else did I deselect? Okay, the doctor. Okay. Now it's 251. Excellent. Over at Caceres, this place is unhappy. The Grove Raton, I'll get that finished. And then we need some happiness here, that's for sure. Let's see. Community discussion will be needed for the storyteller, which will provide some happiness. And the creation myth as well. I could also just get a chief's hut up here, which would not make a huge economic difference, but it would be nice to get the crime reduction over here. Let's see here. We don't have much to work with, so we gotta go with what we can get here. Let's go ahead. We also have food problems here. Well, that's because we're unhappy. I do actually think I have a solution for this.
You get whopped good.
Let's have this
for not
axeman,
watch
which
out.
actually... yeah, oh, that's where the other axeman was. I just realized that's why I have an extra axeman in my list. So, okay, let me get back over here. So, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this axeman here...
Get the good stuff.
I'm going to actually delete. Although, for now, I'm going to send him back to Caceres to provide additional guard. I'm going to replace him, though, with an archer. And I will only build archers for defensive purposes from now on, I think, as opposed to axemen. And then we're actually going to work with this instead for the extra production. It's 3 more production and a little bit more wealth as well. There we go. Okay, get the Grove for Ton. And then I want to get the, let's see here, anything that gives me some quick happiness. Nothing quick. Jump rope is the cheapest, it seems. Let's see here. We also don't have an enforcer up here, but already with an axeman as well. That's where my other axemen are, I see. Okay. I need to get an enforcer. Oh no, I do have an enforcer up here. I was wrong. Let's get a dance hall so I can get the bird thing consumed as well. Where's dance hall? Oh, I need to have the storage pit first. That's right. I guess for now, okay. I guess for now, let's see here. Where are we getting this from? Doesn't seem to be from either of those. I mean, I guess we just gotta go for jump rope. Yeah, it's expensive, but sadly this is our best option here to get this dealt with. Unless we get a unit moved up here.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, I'm actually going to do exactly that. Oh, what's this? You have a koala. That's awkward. Okay, we'll come back to that later. Grove Raton. Alright, you know what? Forget the jump rope. We're going to bring units up, so let's get more food here. Actually, let's get a community discussion first. Then queue up the food stuff. Let you know. Grove Raton, and then I need to get the Driftwood Gatherer and the Reed Gatherer. and the vine gatherer as well. Then we'll take stock. Okay, that looks good. Meanwhile, okay, over here, happiness is fine. I'm gonna send this guy up just for now, but I will train a proper enforcer with the city defense thing to be the guard up here in time. Over in Nerja, what are we doing? Okay, so with our available guys, let's definitely work this. And then work this. Yeah, Nerja has insane production right now. Just insane. Some of it's, actually a lot of it's from overflow in fairness, but still. The rest of these tiles are actually not amazing, so I think Nerja is going to otherwise just work specialists. Probably just 2 scientists, to be honest. Yeah, 265. The caste system will get us to catch up with the AI. It's going to have to be the way we do it. And then in terms of the build order, so I could finish the mud bath for some extra health. It's pretty cheap. May as well. And then, let's see. Let's get some other cheap buildings here that I have not prioritized over here. Let's get the kern, sand paintings, the cave painting, capture the flag. Let's get the fox dance, because we're not likely going to get a fox to Nerja super soon. The dried meat maker, the bonfire, the tumulus, the burial ground, basically everything that is under 10 turns. Maybe not the flint napper, I don't think I'll build that here. The stele, which will replace the monument. Goldmaker, hatter, mask, carver, piercer. Basically just start building everything that I have been neglecting to build that provides things of value, and then we'll kind of start with that. So just get Nerja, get its remaining cheap building queue set up there. I don't have any production buildings to prioritize first. Over in Benolis, I think kind of the same thing over here. So capture the flag, the fox dance, dried meat maker, the furrier, the emu, the seamstress, the skinner, the tree carving, public stoning, the tumulus, the burial ground, bone marrower. Get all this stuff here to here basically. We'll go ahead and grab that. Stele. Actually, the stuff that's 10, we will wait. Okay. Over here in Carahuela, the lumber camp and then the saddler. I do think it makes sense to get the saddler and then to get the stable, because I will be building mammoths here. I don't think I'll be able to get a great hunter reliably super soon, so I wanted to start building the mammoths over here. I guess I could also quickly grab the straw gatherer, but it's not that much. So this is actually fine for now, because I can't add the stable after the saddler, or until after the saddler is done, so that one will have to wait. Okay, that is a basic... Oh, over here I didn't do this yet. So yeah, we definitely want to work this. And then we want to work this. And... this is just so annoying with the stupid whale. Work this, work this. Well, hold on. 1... Okay, this one is 2. That's not... With the amount of population we have here. I think with the other 2 positions, we work the 2 scientists. This does give us... this will quickly give us great scientist bonuses. So 276, that's pretty good. So we've gone up from, what do we have before? Like 225 to above 275 per turn at 100%. Now we could also work some merchants to give us more money, but I think for now I gotta focus on science. Okay, I think that is good. Alright, nice. So this guy here has returned. You just wait. Oh wait, Nerja does have a defender, doesn't it? Yeah, I just literally for some reason forgot that it did. So you coming over is not actually necessary after all. Also, let's see. Actually, yeah, go ahead and come on back. Or, I mean, go up there. Get it to be happy. That'll be worthwhile. Alright, you can finally kill this thing. Withdraw, probably. Yep, there it goes. Great. Are you... just wait here for now. Okay, you, let's see. These guys arrived here. That's 3, 4.
Smack you round!
Oops.
You're gonna
5.
get it now! Smack you round! Don't give them no chance!
Oh, those guys can't move this turn.
Good
You 3,
stuff!
continue along. Okay. Let's kill this, we'll heal up for a turn here. I can't get through. Alright, my hunter's on the way, don't worry. Super annoying, but that's fine. We got our hunter in the area. I'm a really fast hunter as well, so we can finally just zoom on over. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Don't give them no chance!
6. So, yeah, so 4 and 6, I think is the combo I'll go for.
Don't give them no chance!
And you 2, head over here. You guys head here. Okay, so we're gonna need to build some more elephants. That's the key takeaway, which I kind of knew. I got one more coming as well. Alright.
Don't give them no chance!
This all looks good over here. You can head over there. Alright. Let's continue fighting. So gotta get to folk dance. Excellent. Guys move out of the way, which means you can finally go here. We're on the way, don't worry. Alright, go ahead and attack that grizzly. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're gonna get it now!
I'll just rest. You guys can now continue along. We should have killed this wolf while I was down here. That was a mistake. We'll send our hunter back later. It's okay. You guys continue. Alright, let's go kill this horse and this koala, or hopefully capture them, not kill them. 2 turns away. Maybe 1 turn away now. We'll see. 100%. We'll see what we get. Probably not, though. Oop. Well, it's not even that much research, but a lot of other resources. So that's nice. Johann founded another city. Holy crap. Okay. You go ahead and get this koala out of the way. We got a great profit in Amsterdam. Interesting. Alright, you. Finally make this place happy. Alright, this is the correct thing to work. Yeah, this is worth 9 food for the city. That is insane. Absolutely keep working that. Alright, we can barely see it, but there is now a fort here. That's quite nice. Okay, so you are probably actually done
Hello there to you.
with your need to exist, which sounds a little harsh, but that's the reality that we're living in here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete you. Yeah, we're still pushing that civilian upkeep limit situation, so let's go ahead and say bye to you. Adios. Alright, we got the very ominous front-facing hippo picture. I don't love this too much, but that's fine. All of you continue along. Okay. 1 more turn, then we can finally get our heal for now. Get march on him. You are a little ways away, but not too far. Then we'll get march on you. Now these guys coming in, I could possibly squeeze out something over here in Nursia. If I could maybe get a Condi here, that would be really awesome. Really, really nice. Okay. I'm considering my options here. I really am. Because here's the thing, right? Since I could actually... Yeah, because... So the Roxolani Axemen, I talked about them before. Their main benefit is this additional mounted bonus. Which... So my elephants and my my elephants and my mammoths, let's see here. They already are anti-mounted, just by definition. I think the mammoths are actually the same. Let me go over to Carahuela. Yeah, so these guys are already anti-mounted. So, the elephants are already going to beat the mammoths in most... Or, I'm sorry, the elephants are going to beat mounted in most scenarios. So there isn't really a need for the Roxolani unit anymore. But what about Huns? What do you give? The Tarkin. I think the main difference is that it actually has a city attack bonus. Yeah, that's different. So these guys are able to be city attackers. Not really amazing. Lusitanian. Oh, whoops. I know I looked at all these before. This guy here replaces the Spearman. Cover Woodsman City Raider. I don't think so. Okay. Let's see. Anything that helps me build mounted faster. Yeah, this one here. I don't think it's really super urgently needed, I should say. Hill of Tara. This stays with me through Monarchy, which is actually quite nice. I just don't think this is urgently needed. I could try to get a Condi out. I mean, an additional 3 gold from reducing the maintenance here is really nice. And ultimately, even if I'm initially building some mammoths over at, I always forget the names of all my cities, at Carahuela, Atapuerca is going to remain my main military center, given it's where all of my military bonuses are currently located. I could try to rush out a Condi with the help of those guys coming in. It's not really in my build order, obviously, but let me actually go ahead and throw it in. I could also get the town hall. It's another idea. Let's see. 2 free specialists. I don't know. Let's bring them up and see. Well, I'm not 100% sure what I will do.
Those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music.
Okay. Alright. The time has come. March. Yes. Finally. The wheel of the chief shearing happened right as I got March. That's how I feel. That is how I feel. Okay. Maybe these guys could actually rush out. No, let's send them over to Atapuerca. We'll find something for them to rush out. A subdued koala. Okay. Just go find some combat to get yourself some experience, please. Good march on you soon enough. You just defend for now. Okay, this place continue as is. Alright, look at that. Oh wait, no, that's from Wheel of the Chief. Never mind. I was about to say, positive income on 100% research? Say it ain't so. That's pretty nice. Can these guys become... No, they can't. They can't become settlers. Oh well. They could rush out a settler. Now that's an idea. I just don't think economically I really need to do that right now. Although I guess... let's... Okay, just to be thorough, let's consider what that would look like. Okay, so let's get these down. So something like over here, inland would probably be the sensible place to go. Again, there's some really good production areas around here. Absolutely. Let's see. I mean, this is basically where I started the game, was over in this area, if you remember, way back in the day. Let's see here. I think something kind of in this valley here is the place to go, but where? The very tall grass lush could be quite good. This puts the... Oh, hold on, there's Bamboo Rocky right here. This is kind of a good looking spot, I'm not gonna lie. This also does a good job at expanding my territory on basically the northern side, but south of Jablonica. There's another city, or maybe even 2 cities I could squeeze in over here, but for now, this is pretty bad terrain. Over here, I could get the papaya. These are really, really good tiles. More copper. I could get the prime timber. I get the stone. The gold as well. I didn't notice that over here. Yeah, there's a lot to work with around here, definitely. And this city, it does a good job at expanding me northward towards Ragnar, while still being within the limits of what I think I can reliably manage. Hold on. Gosh. There we go. I think this is the plan. I rush out a settler from Atapuerca, using the guys to hurry production. I think that's it's not that far from the palace. It's a little far for my preference, but I guess the thing is, build a city here. And then I could get another one over here. There's not many resources over in this area, but there's plenty of solid tiles to actually work. Maybe something kind of like around here. Probably on the... Hold on. Which tile is this actually on? It's on this one here. So probably right here is the place to do it. This does overlap with this one, but not enormously a lot. And this is a sensible distance away from these ones. There's, again, a little bit of overlap, but it's really not a problem. Yeah, and this is, again, still within this kind of rugged valley area. Yeah, this will give me a lot of good resources. Also more horses as well. That's always good. And then maybe over here, I get one into this very, very rugged valley. There's not as many resources around here. It's a bit hemmed in by the mountains. We could get some of these spices, the prime timber. Some good options around here. Where would this actually be is the issue. I don't know, but I think for now, getting these two is realistic. I think this one here needs to be first. Actually, you know, this one here may be a better first one. It's closer to my capital. I do think that this spot here on the hill is really good. Surrounded by resources, but I can still improve them, which will make them much better yields. But this is a really good initial production tile to use. Then again, I could go further south so that I save this to be a mine. I think having it be more far north is better than having it be more far south, because this may be a city down here. In fact, Benolis can eventually get this, and some city that's like over here somewhere can get the rest. Yeah, I think having it be right here is the spot. Okay. Plus this will really extend my control over this direction. But again, I just remembered, I need to wait for despotism. Yeah, I can't. That unhappiness penalty is too severe. Okay, let's remind ourselves, when is this? Bronze working? Okay, so we're gonna keep our current 5 cities for now, and we're gonna wait for any settler action. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot about that. Oh well, that's fine. $337 per turn in research as well. Woo! That's from We Love the Chief. Gotta love it. Alright. I've only played about 20 turns, but it feels like I've made such a large increase in my kind of planning of the Ancient Age. I feel so much more secure about what we're really doing here, honestly. Feeling good about that. Okay, let's go ahead and chase after this Moa. And I will run 100%. I want to work my way back to being at neutral with 100%. We love the Chief. We sure do. I could potentially, oh, here's an idea. I could potentially rush out an elephant queue from Atapuerca. That would be one. Ooh, actually, this is perfect. That'd be one way to do that there. All right, you guys just fortify. Attack the Sun Bear. Gotta find some big cats to go kill. Plenty of research from that. We'll get plenty of warning if a Ragnar stack rolls in. Let's get these guys here and then take stock of the options. I also think what I want to do, once I get my army rebuilt, is actually send it over and kind of test it on Jablonka. That'd be a good dry run of my new army composition against a fairly, you know, bulky, but yeah, let's see here. Got one axeman, and then some spearmen. Yeah, this is manageable. It's mostly animals over here, so we should be okay. Size 5 for Benolus next turn. Excellent. Saddler is also nearly done. In fact, now's a good time to potentially go attack that Barb City, because I don't have any enemies that are not in the direction of the Barb City, so we shall see. We got flour right from the kern. That is good to know. So kill these birds while we have the chance. Pests, bedbugs have been restored to working order. Great, that's what I hope to hear. Alright, what do we have over here? Unhappiness from the bedbugs. Yeah, that'll do it. I mean, this is fine for now. Let's see. Let's get the furrier to the top of the queue to get that unhappiness dealt with. There it is. No, not the bottom of the queue. I'm at the top of the queue. There we go. Or, you know, honestly, for now, I'll also send
Hello there to you! You're gonna get it!
one guy back as well, but then we'll move him out later. Okay, this I'm going to, let's see, it's worth 2 food, worth 2 food. Let's just work the scientist instead. Excellent. The sooner I get mining, the sooner Carajuela is in good shape to really start pumping out mammoths like crazy. Oh, did I not assign Carajuela? Oh my gosh. Catastrophic blunder over here. Whoops. Okay, well let's go ahead and just do that now. That's a kind of a goofy mistake, but that's fine. So it's 3 and that's 3. I think given its... well, as opposed to 3 production, I think I'd rather have 3 production. And then the rest of these guys can be scientists. Yeah, this is fine for now. No. Yeah, this is fine for now. Let's get the saddler out, and then we'll get the stable out, and then we'll take stock from there. Yeah, it's a funny mistake. Okay, let's continue. Birds are leaving. Good. Go waste Ragnar's turn, why don't you? Let's go get this duck. Nice. Okay, these guys have arrived. Oh, I can make them a settler. Aha. I mean, actually, sleeping them, I mean, they do cost 1 per, but that's not that bad. Getting 3 settlers for free later is kind of nice. Settlers are really expensive, obviously. Let's see here. If I were to build an elephant rider.
Don't give them no chance!
Oh yeah, only for buildings. Ah, good to know. So if I were to build a Condi, 93, what are we looking at? 2.2k. Wow, okay. We could get a Condi done real quick. I think it's probably worth it, honestly. That's a big big advantage for us. This, how long does this last for? Rifling, I think, is when it becomes, yeah, obsolete. Let's make a play for a Condi. All right. Yeah, I think that was the right call. Possibly controversial, but if we lose, we at least get the fail gold. So I'll take that. Okay, you, where are you? You're over here. Go ahead and grab Armored Guard 3. This guy's got Armored Guard 3 as well.
That's the good stuff!
What's the issue now? What happened over here? Oh. Oh, it's from swine flu. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I have no doctor over here. That's just great. Okay, you know what? We'll have this whole stack just kind of being Benolis for now. Heal up for a turn. Okay. Over here, I think this is fine. I could actually run engineers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, 25 turns. Versus 27. I think the additional science is actually more valuable. I don't think we're in that tight of a race for a Condi. If we are, we'll get the fail golds. It'll be annoying, but it won't be the end of the universe. Then with the Condi finishing, I'll just manually build the remaining elephants that I need. I think I'll delay the build orders to get them out. I'm back in a position where Scandinavia may see me as a viable target, though probably less than previously, because I actually have a proper army now. But it's a very, like, partial army. I also want to get it relocated further north, ideally to Atapuerca's territory, because that's honestly where I expect I'll be what's the word, dispatching it over to. Oh yes, yes, I'm finally get march on this guy. Holy crap! Okay, let's see here. Let's just head this way. Vine gatherer's done. Get the poultry herd over here. All of you just rest here. Okay, and then in Keres, let's continue our build order. Got 41 production now, excellent. Happiness is going to be a problem in a few turns. Let's see here. I'll have to get the jump rope, just to deal with the happiness problem. It's annoying, but it'll get it back to happiness at size 3, so that's fine for now. Birds have got to make their appearance, of course. More birds, just what I was hoping to see. See you in a few hours when their turn ends. Alright, there we go. Oh, just kidding. They're back at it. At least my hunter can kill a few of them rid the world of these time-consuming birds. Like, I wouldn't be upset if all the animals just moved simultaneously. Like, sure, I'd see it less, but I'd be fine with it. I'm sure the AI wouldn't mind. Alright, they're going into Borg. I can't reach a lot of them now. We'll see what we can do, nonetheless. Still a ways away from that Great Hunter. I think I am making the right call, getting the stable set up in Carahuela, because I can't build the mammoths elsewhere, not for a while. Speaking of which, time for Carahuela to get the stable. Here it is. 18 turns. Let's just get to work. And I think this is the right combo. Yeah, this is more production. Growth can wait. Alright, looking good. Steady on disease as well. Very nice. Continue attacking the birds. Massive snowfall. This bird region of territory. Great. We get every different biome has its own version of this event. Well, I'm not losing my access to mammoths in my other towns or obsidian, so we're not gonna let this get destroyed. Absolutely not. Just insane. The bird slaughter going. Nice. Disastrous quantities of snow. Okay. Well, just keep going. They're not very valuable, but at least they're right here, so we'll just kill them while we can. And there we can add some culture to our northernmost city, so that's quite nice. To Caceres, in particular. Alright. Songs of the Eagle. Mind if I do? Nice. Well, just keep them coming. May as well take the opportunity to get my revenge on these stupid birds for wasting hours of my time with their movements. I could just turn off sea movements, but I gotta know if, like, Ragnar's moving. I may not spot him after he moves, right? Maybe there's a way to toggle it so that only the, like, main civs are still seen, but I can't be bothered to figure that out right now. Our jumper will actually finish on time now. That's quite nice. I really want to get... I know that I've not done a very, like, fine-tailored infrastructure build order in my other cities, or in all my cities, but I really just want to get some of the cheap prehistoric buildings that I have not bothered to get so far just constructed. I know some of them will be obsoleted in the next couple of episodes, but I just don't want them to be clogging up interface room. If I know that I may want them or I could benefit from them, some of them, like the monument, you know, I'll build the higher tier version instead. You get the idea. Yeah, now that I think about it, it seems as though Arabia and the Aztecs should have extremely severe happiness problems given how many cities they have. I guess that's the Nightmare AI privilege. Wait, how many are here? Okay, we're getting there. A few more turns. Another turn or two if we're doing 3 attacks per turn. Unless he withdraws, that'll slow it down even more. I think at this stage, everyone has made it to... Yeah, there's ideograms. I think everyone's made it to the Ancient Age by now, including Yugon. I think I'm also going to start moving my armies up to Atapuerca at this point. So scroll our way. Yugon, speaking of which, Yugon just got small holding. Okay, so this stack here is a certified, well, pre-mammoth at least, finished stack. So let's have them head on up to here. Actually, I'll have them rush up so they're not outside my territory for too long. Maybe not that way. Let's go this way. Oh, I haven't seen you before. Actually, no, I have. Did I? I don't know if I've seen a Galapagos tortoise before. I haven't seen turtles very often. They're kind of rare. We did. Excellent. All right, 3 more birds. Holy crap. Slaughter can finally end. We can move on. Well, maybe. A lot of them are withdrawing, but I'll catch them. Yep, don't worry, jump rope will be done. 3? Really? We have, oh my gosh, the amount of happiness we have here is insane. What is the issue exactly? Must be a new disease that we got. No, we had scurvy before. I'm not sure what the problem is, but there is, in fact, a problem. Well, this is not great. Let's at least finish jump rope. That'll get us to 3 below, for what that's worth. I guess we'll slow build more happiness buildings. We should get torches next. What we should also do... Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We can spare 2 of these guys, head to Caceres. I don't love leaving out a Puerca at the happiness cap, but it is what it is. Yeah. I need Caceres to at least get its own happiness management under control. Then I can move around the units and reorganize things over there. And the Puerca became unhappy. Alright, great. What is the what possibly could be the problem now? Oh, crime just exploded out of control. I see what's going on. Well, that's just great. Actual God. Alright, well... I mean, this is the right build order for now. Or, I mean, the right work priorities for now. Yeah, we gotta bring these guys back. That really, really sucks. That is super unfortunate. I didn't realize crime was that close to exploding out of control. Alright, that's a 5 actual food outcome, so I think I will work that. No, no time for specialists for now. Okay, you just continue sleeping. I need the crime to go down is the main thing. There's not much else I can really do right now about that. We just have to hope that that gets reset. Actually, what I can do, I can do not at 6, but I can do a whip to cut down on population. I don't really want to, but it might be necessary. What do you mean, MISC? Please give me more information on that. See what's going on around here. It's pretty much the same. I'm gonna get trapped back there. Let's leave.
Get the good stuff!
Where's my interface? Why did my interface just get glitched out? Okay, that's really bizarre. Alright, there it is. Okay. You see that? My interface was just gone. Adios. Ooh, okay. Let's get the Galapagos tortoise tail. Okay. Crime here is now going to slowly go back down. Yeah, I shouldn't have let it get above 650. That was a critical error. No, 675? Okay, next turn, Atapuerca should be steady. We'll see, that's an insane... That's 7 workers who are like, we're not working for you. I mean, I guess understandable if this is the citywide problem I'm not addressing properly. Come on, guys, I'm working on it. Alright, so this now doesn't even really fix too much, but we'll slow build torches. Once a conda is done, let's see. With the workers being used up.
Yes! Hello there to you! You're gonna get it now!
Okay, let's see here. Who's we always need? It's in trouble.
You're gonna get it now!
I need you to do the mining work over here. I mean, okay, because this is prime timber, the lumberjack should stay. Prime timber on a hill, obviously, that is still a lumberjack site. But nothing else for any workers here to do. So I'm going to go ahead and kill this worker. And over here, there's really not much for workers to do at the moment. We have a worker sleeping over here.
Give them no chance!
I'll need you to get a mine built here. I'm going to have you go sleep here so I don't forget about it.
You're gonna get it now!
And then, with no workers over here. So let's take a look again at our room here. So we've got about, let's round to 6, which I think at the moment, because these guys are worth 3, is that right? Or are they worth 2?
Yes!
They're worth 3. So I can build 2 new enforcers. I think what I do is I'm going to build... So once the Akonda is done, well, they will get XP from that. I'll finish the Akonda first, and then we'll get 2 more workers, 2 more enforcers, I mean, to guard Atapuerca. Or to do crime fighting at Atapuerca, specifically. I don't like that Ragnar stack walking around. Let me take a look at that. It's a little suspicious, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, he does... We've seen a stack like this before, but this doesn't mean he's necessarily attacking me. We'll see, though. Okay, up here... What do we have? Let's go ahead. I think there was another monkey heritage I could get. Let's go for it. Perfect. Was it an aardvark? What is that? It was. Nice. Alright, Taxon Serpentes. Alright, you just sleep. That's fine. We'll actually have this army go into Atapuerca. That'll actually fix the issue for now. Not permanently, though, that's for sure. Now hurry that. I don't know if that is a good idea, though. Guess I was wrong about having more monkey heritages to get. I got them all already. That's fine. Alright. Caraquare is now considered elegant. What did you expand to grab? You got these 3 tiles. Interesting. It's not exactly the direction I would have perhaps preferred, but this is fine. Can any of these be worked in any way?
Yes! You're gonna get it now!
Oh, I can build something there. Is that a quarry? That's probably a masonry thing. Let me check. Build. Where is it? Quarry. Let me guess. Requires masonry. Yep. Alright. Look at me. I can get a stone workshop there. Or can we get a farm there? In the peat bog? Is that true? Let's see. I don't think so. I guess it is considered grass. Why can't I build it there, though? I don't really know. Oh, here it is, peat bog. Oh, canal system. Okay. I can remove the swamp and then build a farm there. Well, never mind. Alright, you just keep snoozing for now. In that case. Alright, a perk is happy again. Good. Only took my entire army showing up. It's not even that happy. Alright, let's go ahead and fix its... Jeez, alright, hold on. Let's get everything reorganized. So, work these, work these, work these, work this. Yeah, work this. And it's probably... Yeah, 2, 1, 1. Alright, the rest of the guys... work scientists. Well, hold on, wait. No. Work a doctor as well. And then the rest work scientists. 341. Good. That's without We Love the Chief either. Yeah, our science has increased quite a bit with my micro this episode. That is very important. At the end of the day, science is the real resource that wins the game. Especially in this game where the only victory allowed is a scientific victory. In case you forgot, that was part of the game setup, and it's still the case. I have not changed that. Alright. Get some more goat herds in the nation. Very nice. I didn't mean to actually go there. All of you just snooze here for now. That's fine. Alright.
You're gonna get it now!
You know what?
You're gonna get it now!
You guys go here.
Don't give them no chance! You're not so tough!
And then this, like, partial army, let's send this elephant back into this force. The 4 axemen will come north, though, to form the core of the other army, which will also make it north. All of you head up to, like, around here, I guess. That's fine. All of you defend. Once Akandi is done, we'll get our remaining enforcers that are within the free limit constructed to help with crime management in my city. And then we will start building elephants. Alright, we got a discussion at the beaver fort. Nice. Let me defend. Let's go for it. Hopefully that guy doesn't attack us. 5 turns away, then we can start building mammoths over here. And I'm thinking, we'll see if the mammoth actually has upkeep or not. If it doesn't, we can just build, we can basically fill our upkeep with elephants and the axemen that we currently have, and then just build mammoths as much as we like to act as our city attackers. But I'm sure that's just an interface mistake. I'm sure they do have an upkeep. We'll find out, though, fairly shortly. Okay. All of you just hang out here. Just make our way to the big cat. That's going to be some nice research for me. Is that what is that? It's obsidian maceman. Interesting. Caceres is now developing. Great, we can now get much better stuff. We can also now get the resin. Okay. I'll send the worker up there later. I don't have a worker available, ironically, to do that right now. Taxon Filanet. Let's go ahead and get... I don't remember if I have all the lizard taxon. We'll find out in a little bit. Ooh, nice. Let's get this bison real quick before the barbarian hunter can get him. Nice elephant sighted. Nice. As usual, Nerja's in really good shape. Not entirely sure how I've pulled this off, but I'll take it. Alright, with mining, we'll be able to finally start improving a lot of tiles I've been waiting to get mining to improve.
The man who moves the mountains begins by carrying away small stones.
Alright. That is going to allow us to also revolt into metals. Let's remind ourselves what that actually means. So currency-less, reduced great person birth rate, less great general emergence, 10% reduced military unit production, and a bunch of malices everywhere. This one here does add maintenance, so that is worth noting. It's about roughly 15 more maintenance for this, but this will give all of my cities a pretty substantial boost in all of their yields and make mines more valuable, which of course will be handy. I think it is actually probably worth it to adopt metals, though not necessarily right away. We'll see. Let's see, we also do have very fast... What did we have that was less turns? We had something with research that we got from... Oh yeah, sailing is really fast because of the what we got from Boudica. Let's quickly get sailing in super quick here. We also got extra bonuses in Ataperca. Bison herd appear. Nice. And then you go ahead and get these deer. Oh, diamond near Carahuela. I forgot we're going to discover diamond now. Let's see. Got sulfur up here. Okay. Iron near Carahuela. Hold on. Where? Where is it? Well, here's Carahuela. Oh, there's iron over here. Okay. Where's the diamond? There's lead down here. Let's see. Okay, there's sulfur in the peak. Okay. Any other new sources around here? Not really. I don't know where that diamond is that was near Carahuela. Oh, here it is. I guess this is kind of near Carahuela. I guess this iron is also kind of near Carahuela. Anyways. Okay, so nothing in our immediate area, but that's fine. We will get iron, probably with our expansion over in this direction. I don't know if we can get the iron in the peak very easily. Alright, speaking of being able to mine, let's go ahead, grab our... Alright, so let's start, let's see, with this tile here. Okay, so we could get a stone tool workshop, an early quarry, or a mine. I think a mine is the way to go. So what does an early quarry actually do? I'm not really sure why I would ever build this instead of just a regular quarry. I guess I don't have access to regular quarries yet until masonry. I would just wait for that. But yeah, mining is the way to go here. Let's build a mine here. Alright, you continue hunting. Double elephant? Well, don't mind if I do. That is some big research we're about to give ourselves for sailing. Excellent. This will also increase our great hunter spawn rate, which is also something we want to do in order to get the mammoth heritage. Alright, and then over here, you upgrade this to a mine. This will continue giving us the copper ore, but it will, as you can see, mines continue to be upgraded over time. Alright. Excellent. Torches are done next turn as well in Caceres, thanks to all of the production we're sending back to it. Okay. I think we wait for the Akandi to finish before we do any revolting into metals. I definitely think so. Using Caceres. Okay. Let's get a horse herd over here. Taxon Elephante. That's fine. Get more of these guys. Yeah, at this point I'm basically taking no damage in any fight I do, so March ended up not even being super necessary, but it's fine. Future hunters can have March build. And also future units in general can have March build. March on my elephants could be really good as well. Let's work our way to that hippo. Not quite, but next time. Nice. Okay. This is... oh, yikes. Yeah. What's the issue? It's disease, I think. Okay. We need to get this under control. Let's get... what do we have that can help? Let's get a storage pit because a lot of stuff requires the...
Are you gonna make it later at some point?
Hold on. Okay. And then, let's do the childcare hut and the, let's just start with this. Let's start with this. It's also going to grow again because all the food we're bringing it. That's a bit of a problem. I may have to whip something to slow down the growth rate here. It's a little too fast. Okay, and then let's get a... oh, you know what? Actually, we can now get Mammoth Rider with quite a bit of additional Writing school. Where is that coming from? It's not available right now, is it? Oh, it is actually. Okay. Speed promotion. I mean, that's pretty good. The 2 movement for Mammoth would be really, really nice. That being said, my entire army is a very slow army, so I don't think this is actually critically urgent. So I think what we do is we just start working on Mammoth Riders over here. The food will help produce them. They are very expensive, understandably. And we'll find out whether or not they actually have upkeep or not. It seems like they don't, but we shall see. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. Alright, we are the 5th most advanced civ in the world. We're above Ragnar. That's actually kind of reassuring, if that is true. Big if true, as the kids say. Okay. Let's see, will we withdraw again? Nope. We're in the clear. Alright, you go ahead and just, Oh, actually, I didn't even realize our hunters are kind of meeting over here. That reunion up here in the woods. Very fun. With our animal fights, we don't really need to run any income at all. We're getting enough money from that, and from production overflow, making us a ton of money. As we talked about last time, or as I talked about last time, that's a kind of unusual strategy I can run here with Caceres. Alright, let's go ahead and get you situated here. Get the goat herd, do that. Excellent. And yeah, I think this is going to be a good stopping point. I did promise a shorter video here. We are probably going to finish the Akonda. We have mammoths in production. We've got, pretty soon, more elephants in production. We're going to have a bestial army of elephants, mammoths, and axemen. And yeah, we are working our way now through the early Ancient Age text with quite a bit more speed. Looks like we're averaging about 290 per turn when everything's going pretty well. I'd say we're probably around 300-ish. Obviously, things can change that in different ways, but we're also getting our mines underway, which is going to help with our production quite a bit. But either way, that's going to be it for this episode of the Neanderthal Campaign. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.